Hi lovelies, and welcome. For today's practice, we're going to be doing a wonderful Hatha practice. So settle in, get into something comfy, and join me in your space. Beginning to settle in where you are, taking a few big, deep breaths. As we start to settle into our space, settle into our body, a reminder that I'm here to help guide you. I am never here to make you do anything that would feel uncomfortable in your body. So if at any point finding a different variation, modification, or coming out of the flow completely would feel better to you, please feel free to do so at any time. Reminding you that you can always pause the video, come back to it as you need, and I'll be here when you're ready. Beginning to feel ourselves root down into our space as we start to lift up through the crown of the head, taking a look more inward. And taking a moment to appreciate showing up today. We've already done the hardest part of the whole practice. Everything from here should be smooth sailing. Wonderful. When you're ready, letting the eyes flutter open. Starting to take some wiggles throughout the body, wiggles through the toes, through the fingers. Let the head drop from side to side. Take some big stretches. You're rolling out through the shoulders, letting the spine fall. Whatever feels best to you, getting some movement into the body. Wonderful. When you're ready, meeting me back in stillness. Taking the right hand and reaching over to the left knee. Inhale, left hand up high. Open up through the chest as we reach up and over towards the right side of our space. Gaze can either be down, straight forward, or up high towards the sky. Big inhale in, come back towards center. Exhale as we let the left hand come onto right knee. Inhale, right hand high, reach up and over. Once again, opening up through the chest, gaze falls wherever feels most comfortable in the neck. Big inhale in. Coming back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, find a twist towards the right side of your space. Let the hands fall where it feels comfortable to you. Twists come from the core, not from our arms. So let your twist come from your core and from your spine, rather than using your hands to crank yourself further than your core can take you. When you're ready, inhale back up to center. Let hands reach high up towards the sky. Exhale, find a twist towards the left side of your space. Once again, hands come wherever feels comfortable to you. Engage through the core, engage into the belly. Reach up through the crown of the head. Gaze may even start to fall over the back shoulder if it feels okay in your neck. Big inhales, we come in towards center. Hands reach up high to the sky. Maybe fingertips come together as we look straight up. Exhale down to heart center. Beginning to shift your weight over ankles, coming into all four or tabletop posture. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow or C curves. Beginning to warm up through the spine. Wonderful. And when you're ready, from here, ground in to the right knee. Let the left leg go out long behind you, staying on the toes as we sink back, pushing through the back heel. Starting to get a little bit of a calf stretch here. Be careful not to pulse too much in this posture. We want to make sure that we're finding a nice stagnant stretch. Wonderful. When you're ready, beginning to shift the weight forward, coming more into the weight onto our hands as we start to find a balance between the left hand and right knee, gently lifting the right hand off the ground and left toes off the ground. When you're ready, bend into the back knee, reach back with the right hand. Hand may not grab ankle, that's okay. Maybe it does, yogi's choice. When you're ready, gently release. Let the left leg come out long to the left side. Toes are becoming parallel with your space. Big inhale in as we rise up, finding gate posture. Exhale, we find a big side bend towards the left side of our space. Inhale, come up towards center. Exhale, keep the motion going as we bring the right hand onto the ground. Look up towards the left hand. And when you're ready, let the right leg reach towards the left toes as we send the right hip back onto the ground. It's gonna sound a little weird, but it's gonna make a lot more sense when I demonstrate. So right leg is gonna reach towards right toes. I'm gonna send the right hip down. There we go. Coming to seated on the floor with the left leg out long. Right leg is bent in front of me. I'm gonna rotate to turn over the left leg. Left knee and left toes are pointed high towards the sky. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale, find a forward fold. Wanting to keep strong in the chest and back. So shine the chest forward. Keep a nice long line in the spine, avoiding rounding out through the back body. As we maintain engagement in the extended leg by lifting toes towards the sky and having the knee in the same direction. Hands can fall wherever feels comfortable to you. Big inhale in, really find length in the spine. Exhale, find a little bit deeper stretch. Inhale, come all the way up towards center. Let the hands reach over towards the right side of your space. Big up and over motion as we're gonna pivot on the left foot, coming into a kneeling posture. Let the right leg adjust, and we're back in gate. When you're ready, big inhale in, hands up towards center, pull the left knee in. Exhale, rain it down, coming into our tabletop posture. Take a round of cat-cow. When you're ready, let the right leg go out long. This time straight up behind us, there we go. Really sink back into the heel, finding a nice calf stretch. Once again, avoiding pulsing in this posture. It's very tempting. We want to try and find a nice stagnant stretch. Enjoy both movement and stillness in our practice today. Wonderful. When you're ready, coming back towards our tabletop posture. If you've leaned back a little bit, grounding down into the left leg and with the right hand as we reach the left hand out long, right toes come off the ground, bending the back knee, and reach back. Once again, perfectly okay not to grab your ankle. We're slowly working there. Exhale, come back in towards center as we send the right leg out long. Walk yourself up. Find your gate posture. Big inhale in, engage through the belly. Exhale as we bring right hand to right leg. Left hand reaches up and over. Once again, opening up chest and face, either towards the front of your space or towards the sky, yogi's choice. Big inhale in. Exhale, keep the motion going. Coming down towards the side. Look up towards the top hand. Enjoy a side stretch here. When you're ready, make your way onto the ground as we did before. Coming into our seated posture with an extended leg. Inhale as we rotate to look over our right leg. Let the hands come up high. Exhale, rain it down. Nice, long, straight spine. Meet your body where you're at today. I've been a little sore from a workout I did yesterday, so I can't go as deeply into the stretch as I would normally do. But that's okay. This is where I feel a stretch, and ultimately, that's what we're looking for. It's not about what the pose looks like, it's how it feels. Maintaining engagement in the extended leg, having toes and knee lifted up towards the sky. Big inhale in. Coming up towards center. Exhale as we look over the bent leg. Hands come to frame the side of your space. Big inhale in, engage through the core, engage through the extended thigh as we come up. And readjust our leg that's underneath us. Coming back to find our gate pose. Big inhale in, let the hands reach high towards the sky. Pull the right leg in. Coming on to our knees. Exhale, let the hands come to the low back. Letting the thumbs frame the spine. Big inhale in as we reach shoulder blades towards each other, really trying to pull the shoulder blades in. Imagining that there's a pencil in between them and we're trying to hug that pencil. And gaze can start to look up towards the sky, just getting a nice stretch here. Feeling a lot of engagement in my upper body. I can even feel it a bit into my core. Some people will even feel it into their front thighs. It's totally okay. If thumbs framing the low back does not feel comfortable, you can always place fist on either side of the spine. And exhale, come back in towards center. Rain the hands down. Take a few breaths and we'll meet in down dog when you're ready, whatever that looks like to you. Maybe take a child's pose. Maybe cat-cow's where you need to be. Eventually making your way to down dog if you're not there already. Beginning to pedal out through the heels. Really engage into the upper arms. Let the body find its stretch here. Round down through the left foot. Let the right foot float up high as we bend into the right knee, opening up hips towards the side. Shoulders are still dialed down towards the ground. Left foot is still parallel with your space. There's this tendency to try and spiral the left heel outwards. Instead, keep it nice in line with the hands and what would be the long edge of the mat if you're using one. Exhale, come back to center. Ground down through the right foot, let the left foot float up high. If we're bending into the knee, open up through the hips. Once again, watch the back foot and watch the shoulders. Tendency to spiral open on both of them, but we can instead keep strength in our foundation as we find a stretch in the upper leg. One more big breath. And come back in towards center. Bend into both knees, look forward, take as many steps as you need to get to the top of your mat. Let the chest rest onto the thighs, head and arms can ragdoll. Take a few moments here. When you're ready, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, bend into the knees. Let them be the last thing to straighten as we come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. When you're ready, shift your weight into your left leg. Let the right leg raise. Exhale. Send the right leg out and back behind us, coming into a crescent posture. Bend into the back knee. Square the hips towards the front of your space. Maintaining this alignment, maybe we straighten the back leg. Maybe it stays bent. Inhale, hands up high. Exhale, bow forward. Hands can also come down onto the floor or raise back behind us. You have your choice. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Whew. We build balance in this posture. When you're ready, hands come down onto the ground. Drop through the back knee. Flip through the back toes. Inhale, rise. Finding a low crescent lunge. Adjust as you need to so that your front knee stays over the front ankle. Whew. Hug inner thighs towards the midline. If you're not quite sure what that means, place your hand on the inside of your thigh and try and press into your hand. Feel your thighs turn on in this posture. Inhale, hands up high. Exhale to cactus. Maybe we sink a little bit deeper into this posture. Slowly letting the hands rain forward. Walk the top toes out, coming out wide as a yoga mat or wider than your shoulders. Option to place a cushion under the back knee if needed, or flip and float the back knee. Find your lizard's posture here. Always an option to come down onto forearms if that's what feels best to you. As I mentioned, I'm a little sore today, so rather than coming down further, this is where I feel stretch, and that's totally okay. Meet your body where you're at today. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly walking yourself up. Keep the front leg bent as we walk it in just a little bit. I'm going to walk my back knee in, since I know that's what's going to be a little more comfortable, as I'm going to slowly sink a little bit out of my hips as I bend into my back knee to get a stretch on my front thigh. Also an option, some people may need to deepen into this stretch by first placing the left hand on the ground before bending into the right leg and reaching back. Totally fine if that's where you need to be. Find your stretch in your back thigh. Also an option to keep looking forward. Take a few big loving breaths in. One more big breath before dropping the back foot Hands can come down onto the ground, flip through the back toes, and bring the front foot to meet the back. Forward fold, whew. Shake it out, pedal out through the heels, pedal out through the feet. Let yourself get heavy on your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, down to heart center. When you're ready, shift your weight into your right leg, let the left foot float up as we reach out and back. Coming into our crescent posture. Once again, bend into the back knee, align the hips towards the front of your space before maybe straightening the back leg. Maybe not. Inhale, hands up high. Exhale to bow. Remember, we're working on building strength, building balance. Inhale to rise. Take it slow. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise. Exhale to bow. When you're ready, release the hands, drop the back knee. Whew. Inhale to rise here. Find your lower lunge. Once again, adjusting through the front leg. Some people find it comfortable to bring hands to the front knee. All yogi's choice. Once again, maybe bringing the hands on the inner thigh and pushing in, feeling that engagement turn in, big inhale in. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. And when you're ready, bringing hands down to the ground, walk your top foot out, and find your lizard's pose. Once again, an option to float through the back knee if it feels a little uncomfortable, or if a pillow or cushion underneath isn't quite doing the trick. And as I alluded to, pillow or blanket underneath the back knee may feel good. You can always lower down to get a little bit deeper stretch in this posture. Or stay with me and stay on your hands. Option for fist if your wrists are a little uncomfortable. Take 2 more loving breaths here. And when you're ready, walk the top leg in. Adjust as you need to in order to reach back. Right hand can be on the ground as we reach back. The left hand towards the left ankle. Find the posture that feels best to you. Maybe you like to be up a little higher, lower. Notice if you need to readjust and back off just a little bit on the front thigh to get a stretch in the back thigh. One more big loving breath here. Slowly release. Let hands come down. This time walk the top toes out as wide as they were for lizard as we flip through the back toes, float through the back knee, and bring the left leg to mirror the right leg at the top of our space, setting up for Malasana posture. If Malasana ever becomes too intense for you, this wide forward fold is always an option. As we slowly start to sink the hips down. Whew! Feeling it today in the hip flexors. As we find a low yogi squat. A block, soup can, stack of books, always an option to place underneath the hips in this pose, or, as I mentioned, if it becomes intense, find your forward fold, shake out through the legs as you need, and meet me back in Malasana when you're ready. Let the left hand reach low to the ground. Inhale, right hand up high, finding a twist in this posture. Option for a bind or half bind if it's in your practice. Take one more big loving breath here. Exhale, come back into its center. Let the right hand reach down. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale as we come down towards center. Whew. Let hands reach down towards the ground. Inhale, hips up high. Find your forward fold with a straight leg and straight spine. Slowly walk the toes in, bending into the knees as needed. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let the legs come out wide to the side of your space. Setting up for a wide-legged forward fold. When you're ready, make sure we have belly engaged. Feel engagement through the thighs. Really root down through the pinky edges of both our feet. Having feet roughly in line with each other and shifting the weight a little bit forward, more into the balls of our feet, so that we aren't avoiding pushing our hips too far back. As we inhale, hands reach up high. Exhale them as they come down to the low back, either placing on low back or coming to interlace. As we find a chest opener, exhaling to bow forward. Hands can reach away from the low back or remain down, yogi's choice. Really working to hug the shoulder blades together as we also work to hug the thighs inward. Once again, rooting through the pinky edges of our feet, keeping the weight forward in the balls of our feet. And exhale, release the hands as it feels good to you. Hands can come to blocks, books, or the floor, yogi's choice. And find a nice strong stretch here. When you're ready, walking the hands over towards the right foot. Find a side stretch. Maybe we turn the right foot inwards as we bend into the right knee, finding a side lunge posture. Yogi's choice on what feels best to you. Take one more breath on this side as we readjust, coming back in towards center. If the right leg or right foot parallel or twisted in, allow it to come parallel once again as we walk the hands over towards the left side of our space. So once again, if this is the stretch that feels best to you, remain where you are. If you'd like to twist the left heel in and let the hips sink down, finding a side stretch on this side, yogi's choice. Ooh. Working here to keep the knee and ankle in rough alignment, not letting the ankle pull too far forward. Take one more loving breath on this side. And when you're ready, slowly readjust, coming back in towards center. Find your last expression of a forward fold. As we slowly start to walk the heels in towards each other, if hands aren't on the ground, start to allow them to reach there. As we bring the feet all the way in, bending into the knees as much as we need to let this be possible. Let the palms come underneath the feet, so palms are going to face upwards, back of the hand on the floor, as we start to press into the hands, getting a gentle stretch for both the hamstrings and our wrists, depending on how tight we are in these two areas today. Head can ragdoll. And slowly begin to release the hands as we bend into the knees. Let the heels reach away from the ground, coming to a supported toe stand before gently rocking back. Take a breath here. Enjoy the practice you've had so far. As we slowly turn forward and come onto our backs. From here, bending into the knees, letting ankles stack underneath. Low back is flush with the mat as we walk the shoulders in towards each other. Hands come to frame the hips. Option for you to get a little more engagement into the arms. If you're on a mat, you can grab onto the sides of the mat. If you're not on the mat, try clawing the hands into the floor in this space. Gaze is straight up towards the sky. Important that we do not turn our necks as we start to lift the hips. Find a bridge posture that feels good to you today. This is the posture I particularly feel it in my body. From being sore, noticing that, well, sometimes I can get pretty high, almost into a wheel pose. Today's not that day. And one more big breath here. Exhale, release down one vertebrae at a time, coming flush onto the mat or your space. Hugging the knees in towards center, rolling out through the ankles. And transitioning into a happy baby posture, opening up the legs wide before reaching the palms of the feet towards the sky. Option to grab onto backs of thighs, shins, ankles, or sides of our feet. Yogi's choice. Working to keep the shoulders grounded through this posture. Low back can reach away from the mat. Option to play with this posture by straightening one leg, and bending it, and straightening the other. Bending it again. Exhale as we come back in towards center. Hug the right knee in, let the left leg go long. As we exhale, let the right knee reach over towards the left side of our space, stacking hips on top of each other. Right arm can go out long, left arm can either stay hugged in towards the belly or join the right arm in finding a Texas T. Right knee can float, be placed on a stack of books, soup can, or if it feels comfortable, reach to the ground. And when you're ready, coming back in towards center. Exhale, release. Hug the left knee in. Exhale, come over towards the right side of our space. All the options apply on this side as well. You can always support the left knee if that feels more comfortable to you. When you're ready, inhale, come back into the center. Let the left leg go out long. Let the inside of your feet flop open. Hands come to rest wherever feels best to you. Take a moment to enjoy your body, enjoy the natural curvature of your spine, the strength of your legs, the versatility of your mind, and all other parts of yourself. Taking a moment to return to any intentions you may have set at the beginning of class or for all your practices. And when you're ready, wiggling through the toes, wiggling through the hands. Gently bring your attention back onto your bodies as you roll over onto the right side of our body. Take one last big, loving breath of support and surrender. And slowly push your way up to seated. Let the hands come together in between the eyebrows, or third eye, or loving intention of kind thoughts for yourself and others. Letting thumbs come to the lips for the loving intention of kind words for yourself and others. And finally, hands to the heart space for the loving intention of kind actions for yourself and others. I thank you all so much for joining me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.